are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. But one source for this case was the Netflix documentary that we also used for the JMS cult. It's called In the Name of God. Now, it's the five.
If my brows don't look good thick, I'm just gonna make them a little bit thinner then.
Just a little bit thinner.
Right?
Just a little bit.
I'll make them a little bit thinner. I can't find my headband,
Probably for the reason that I'm about to read you a legal disclaimer, okay? For legal reasons, I have been advised to say that before we get started,
Feels weird not being home.
Yeah.
It's like you can't find anything.
I miss my home.
Is not the de facto owner of this whole series. He's connected in certain ways, but he is not the de facto CEO and owner. And the Evangelical Baptist Church, which was created by this billionaire, is not legally connected to the Five Oceans tragedy, the 32 bodies in the attic.
Is this better, guys?
Today. Even if we make any sort of connections between these two entities or these two people, does not mean that it's an insinuation of liability and
Thank you, Allison.
Which also leads me to say,
Guys, me and Allison are linking up
I'm
later.
kidding, but I'm only half kidding because I talked to my parents about this family, this billionaire family, and my dad was like, yeah, they're really scary. Good luck, goodbye. And he hung up on me. I'm like, they're not listening to my calls, Dad. Like, this, maybe they are, yeah. Because they're an international family. Yeah, he has no care in the world for me. He's like, got 2 grandkids. I'm like the least of his worries now. So let's get started before I get more white hairs on his head. The Five Oceans incident. August.
Oh God, I messed it up. Look.
So we're going back, but trust me, it's all gonna come back together.
Let's see if I can blend that out.
And I would not be discussing this case if it wasn't related to what's gonna be talked about on Wednesday. August 29th.
Damn, bro.
It was an incredibly rainy day. A homicide detective by the name of
Fill it back out.
gets a call to head to this tiny little factory out near the mountains. He wasn't really told what was going on.
I'm so slow.
He's just told, rush through the rain. I don't care what it takes. You get here ASAP. So he drives through the rain. He's got his sirens on. And he knows that the factory is belonging to a company called Bay, otherwise translated to Five Oceans. So I'm going to be calling them the Five Oceans Company. Now, when the officer steps inside the factory...
Oh, you want water, baby? Come here. Guys. Oh, you have water there?
Reporters gathered.
You have water?
There we go.
Constantly, posted on here because I don't think it's appropriate, but there's a lot of crazy news footage, and it's in the Netflix doc, and you can even hear one of the reporters saying, I mean, there's no way we're going to air this. Good boy, it's yeah. So there's news cameras everywhere, news anchors, I mean, just a mess. He notices that the ceiling, even the factory cafeteria, and he notices
It's better with this when it's thinner. Y'all were right. I'm watching myself on live. Liv, thank you.
He pokes his head through the ceiling into the attic. And it's just one big open space. It's not big, it's not tall, it's not furnished, it's unfinished. It's what you imagine an attic would look like. And he shines his flashlight on it. And he said in his decades of being an officer, even after this case, he had never seen anything like that. He pans his flashlight and he sees 32
Yeah, the thin eyebrows are way better.
all stacked up on top of each other.
Now I have to redo the contour on my
It
forehead.
was very, very unsettling. The sight wasn't just this pile of bodies. It wasn't like this dumping ground with a mountain of bodies. He said it felt almost methodical in a sense, which made it even more unsettling. There were 2 piles of bodies that were kind of diagonal.
Yeah, this is much better.
The one pile of bodies here was like 12 people. Another pile was 19
I like it.
bodies.
Guys, I know my jaw is not blended yet. I'm gonna blend it in a
The
second.
diagonal piles was a man hanging from the ceiling. There was a rope around his neck. It's just the whole thing was strange. Everyone had their wrists and ankles tied. Their nostrils and mouths were stuffed with some sort of cotton or toilet paper. In total, it was 4 men, 28 women, and a total of 32 people dead in this attic. This is the biggest mystery that South Korea had seen in, geez, I don't know how long. Like, how do 32 people die in one place at the same time? There was no natural disaster. It wasn't some sort of disease, no fire, no earthquake. It just doesn't even make sense. The detective said the one thing that kept getting him throughout the entire investigation is how did these 32 people live next to each other? Here's their neighbor dying. They themselves are dying. Nobody tries to stop it. All 32 people just let it happen. It's kind of how the scene was set up. He doesn't understand. So more puzzling is the man in the center of the attic was hanging from his neck. But the mysterious part was he was on his knees. The attic
Mina, tell them about the accident.
Oh my god, you guys. Yesterday, someone got hit by a car. Like, they literally got, like, hit by a car. And they flew. And they hit the curb. So my reflexes just told me, like, go and save this person. Because I don't know if they're, like, seriously injured. So my mom brakes really fast. And we go to check up on the guy. He hit his head on the pavement when he got hit by the car. So I told him, I was like, come to my car so I can take you to the hospital. And he's like, no, it's okay. He's like, I don't want to be a burden. I was like, you're not a burden. I was like, you could have a serious injury. Like, you should come with us. And he was like, no, it took a lot of convincing. Then he's like, okay. So I get him in the car. We're taking him to the hospital. He's like, I'm a little bit dazed. So we get to the hospital. There was a 4-hour wait. So we ended up taking him to another hospital. And then he was better, whatever. But that was just crazy. Like, we witnessed him get hit by a car. Like, I felt so bad. And he was such a nice guy, too. I feel so bad. And the guy who hit him was an Uber driver.
And he had a passenger.
And he had a passenger in the car. Like, you already know that passenger is gonna get a refund. But yeah, he was like, you're so generous. He's like, this restores my faith in humanity. Like, it tells me that there's still good people in this world that still care. But yeah, like, I do things to help people, not because, you know, I want to show out or anything, only because I believe in karma. And what goes around comes around. So the more good you do, the more good comes back to you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't hurt to be kind. And honestly, that was the least I could do. You were his guardian angel. I'm so glad I was there to help him. You know? I'm glad that I was there. Because everyone else was just driving away. They didn't even care that he was hit by a car. But I made sure to get out the car and, like, help him. Because he was literally, like, in pain. He was crying. Of course, though, he just got hit by a car, you know? And he lost his AirPods and he started crying. And I told him, like, I'll buy you new AirPods.
Yeah, so he was probably not that. Maybe he had, like, some kind of mental problem.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because he was worried about his AirPods. I was like, sir, if I were in your position, I'd be worried about my life. I was like, be grateful that you're alive. Materialistic things can come and go, but your life, you only get that one time.
I plan with that. Endure it with his guidance. I think everyone is ready. I mean, what can I know about it? I mean, so, right. There's actually another note that's found, but we're going to discuss that later. So, who is Park and what is this whole event? Park is the CEO of a massive company in the local area of Daejeon. Now, when this whole case was unfolding, it actually started with an investigation from the police, an investigation of fraud. So this couple comes into the police station like a week before the body was found. And the couple, they were beat up. They got really big scratches.
Today is the first day that it doesn't rain here.
I know, right? It's crazy. It's been raining so bad.
So there's this company, I'm sure you've heard of them, Ubeon, the Five Oceans company. So they're a trading company, which means you can invest with them, and it's like an investment firm. You invest with them, they promise you returns, and you get your money back, and it's this whole thing. And I trusted them, so I invested $500,000 of my money, my whole life savings, right, officer? Now, I was promised 40% return.
there's a storm coming, we might
If you
not.
hear anyone in the investment world promising you 40% returns,
We're supposed to go to New York,
either run the other
but
way
I don't know if
or
we're gonna
out
go
because
because there's a
something
storm
very
coming.
unusual
So
going on. So he's saying, me and my wife, we invested 500K. We were expecting 40%. We got
my nose is
nothing.
swollen.
Nothing came back.
It was bleeding a little bit, like on top.
It feels like a scam.
Yeah, my nose was bleeding. I hit my nose on the car door. Like I opened it really, really hard and I accidentally hit my nose. I love how my base looks before I bake it. I use 2 different setting powders.
Called like 7 employees over, and they beat this couple an inch of their life. Not only did they beat them, but in the end, they forced them to sign a waiver, basically forfeiting their rights to their $500,000 initial investment plus the returns that they were promised, saying that all debt has been cleared, that they just gave Five Oceans this money for funsies. Look at this. I was forced to sign this. Look at the state of my face. They went to the police station immediately when they were released from Odeon, and the police decided to open a formal investigation into this company. And they were pretty surprised to find out that this company was a reputable company. I think that they were expecting some sham company. Like, one look at it, you're like, that's a scam. How did they not know? This company was well known in the Taichung area as a very decent, excellent-sized craft business. So they have one department of their company is the trading business, like the investment business. But the main side of their company, what they say, is their craft business. So they've got factories in Daejeon, and they have all these employees who make these traditional Korean pieces of knickknacks. Sometimes it's jewelry boxes, sometimes it's, like wooden toys, and it's almost like a souvenir company. They sell it to tourists who want to take home a piece of historical Korea with them. So people freaking love that. In fact, Odeon was known as one of the best companies in the world. They constantly won awards for their craftsmanship, for their business practices. I mean, they were killing it. On top of that, the CEO, Park Sun-ja, the one that was found in the attic, she was called...
Look at your shadow here. You look like a little girl.
Oh my god.
How do you even get anything like that? She's like one of those tech billionaire scam artists. Like, that's the vibe that she gives me. The way that she set up her company was she wanted to be all about the employees. So she set up all these dorms, these living quarters near her factory, on the grounds of her factory, like right next to the factory. You are welcome to live here as my employee. You and your whole family can live here for free. I want you to just focus on work and not stress about bills. I provide food, I provide housing, you can move in, you can bring your children. You know why you can bring your children? Because while you're working, we've got this massive children's compound where we teach your kids, we house them, we feed them, we do dance lessons with them. We have all these
This is the best powder, the Laura Mercier.
You know what? We even have a ton of
Chef's
workers.
kiss.
I love her.
I don't have a... Oh wait, I do.
Any sort of interview, she played the whole. I'm the vice CEO of Odeon. My husband is a government official. We're very wealthy. I don't care about money. So she's like such a good thing. She says, I don't care about money or stocks or fashion or jewelry or cars. I just care about giving back. There's this one interview where she tries to force this year out. And she says, I just don't want to live in a world where children have to worry about where their next meal comes from. How can I wear nice things when there are kids out there that can't even afford water, food, textbooks? So everyone is like, oh my god, Odeon is like the nicest company ever, and the CEO is like the mother of orphans. She's amazing.
Hopefully she
I wanna work for
does.
this company. Look at how she treats her employees. She was praised by the locals as being a great businesswoman. She would even have people come in and film the factory, and you would see all these factory workers that were making all these little knickknacks. You would see the orphans singing and dancing and being like, I love Mrs. Park, right? Well, guess what? You guessed it. It was all a scam. The whole thing was a freaking scam. So from the get-go, these employees were not even being paid. These were free laborers. So like, why would they work for free? Park Sun-ja was a very manipulative, cunning woman. So most of these employees worked for free. When they lived on the ground, they said it was very, very strange because they weren't even allowed to talk to each other. You work for Odeon, I'm your wife, we're not allowed to talk to each other. It's so strange. She would separate couples, she would separate the kids from her employees, the families. She would throw them into little orphan dorms, I guess. And she would even go on
Okay,
TV
that's
and
like
say,
too much, but whatever.
"Orphan, what's your name? Tell them you're an orphan and tell them what your name is."
It's always like a hit or miss when I do my eyeliner.
And the parents would be watching that and be like, wait, I'm an employee and that's my kid, and why is my kid on TV acting like she's an orphan right now? And why is Spark telling her to tell the world that she's an orphan? I'm her mom. What's going on right now? So all of these things will later come out, but at the time, nobody knew. The locals are just looking at her like, she's bringing business to our community, this is great. And when she opened up her trading business, her investment firm, everyone was all about it. Like, the locals were all about it. Her employees almost became salespeople. Her employees stopped working in the factory, which, side note, they never worked in the factory, because just like how her little orphanage was a scam, her factory was a scam. They were drop shippers before there was drop shipping. All of those Korean knickknacks they said were handmade by these employees were purchased from wholesalers and sold at double the amount, claiming to be handmade.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, earn up to 90 undergraduate credits for relevant experience.
Claiming to be handmade, they were not. So instead of a factory, it was just a warehouse. A storage unit, yeah. And then all those people now looking back at the videos, like the promo videos of all the factory workers making the thing, they're like, you know what? That's true. They're always in the finishing steps where they're just like,
This one is not even.
they're like, we're doing QC quality control, you know, that's what we're doing.
But it's okay, because once I put the lash on, it's gonna look fine.
Locals didn't know it at the time. They heard that Odeon was open for investment, and all these locals were like, I couldn't buy a I don't know that.
This mascara is my favorite.
Who is praised as being the mother of orphans is saying that not only will she take your money and give you a fat return, a 40% return, but she's saying that all this money is being invested into businesses that give a lot of their profits to orphans and to giving back to the world.
My lashes are getting so long.
You cannot come up with a better investment situation than that. You're helping the world and you're making 40% on your money? Are you kidding me? People start throwing their money at Odeon, and everything was done very professionally. Odeon would even give them these slips, these very official looking slips that said, thank you for your money, you are now a creditor to Odeon. We owe you your initial investment plus interest. Well, like, that's gotta be serious. Odeon at one point had close to $80 million that they brought in investment in this little small area of Daejeon. This is not even like Seoul.
Wow. Like a lot. And this is back in the day?
Yeah, and this is, you know, when you're talking about areas like that, we're not talking about Seoul elites that are just throwing whatever cash they're bringing around. We're talking about families' entire families. Everyone trusted Hudson Brown, and because her husband was a government worker, her name
Beautiful,
had a lot
Mina.
of weight.
Thank you.
But
Love you.
like a bank run happened, okay? 1987, around August, the couple goes and asks for their money back. She beats them up.
I always do my eyeliner really good, and now that I'm on live,
A
it.
whole bunch of people started seeing that they were not getting any returns from Odeon, and they wanted to
Let me go grab. I don't know where I put my lashes.
The
little one?
Even the
No, the
police
longer
thought
wings.
this is not even a regular
I think I left them
job.
in the bathroom. If they're in the bathroom, do you think they'll still be there? You look so healthy. Cute. No, they're not in here. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just getting ready. Oh, thank you. I found some lashes, guys. Finally, I have a ponytail. I can put my hair up.
It's very sharp features. They're thin. and kind of looks lanky. She's not necessarily tall, but she looks very thin and bony.
Should have had this before I was doing my makeup, y'all. My dumbass.
And they like just pierce through your soul, the feeling, and it just didn't feel warm or compassionate. It didn't feel like someone that was like, please, so sorry, officer, there must be a misunderstanding, like, what's going on? So the whole time she's sitting there looking at them as if she knows something that they don't know. And the police keep grilling her and dramatically.
All girls know that when they do their makeup, they clean their lips from the foundation with the inside of their shirt.
I think that the whole thing was staged, that she was faking it, but for legal reasons, they can't be like, hey lady, stop faking it. For legal reasons, they gotta take her to the hospital. So they take her to the ER, and I don't know, maybe because she's like a 50-year-old woman, and she's skinny and frail and looks like an auntie ma. They're like, we don't need police guards. We don't need to do that. Well, they did. Because she walked right out of the ER and vanished with 80 of her closest associates from the company. They vanished without a single trace. You know what they also vanished with? $18 million of corporate funds. Authorities go to the factory and the dorms of Odeon, like the main compound, and they start asking around. Everyone that's left over is like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're shrugging their shoulders like, I don't know where she went. I don't know, you don't ask me. Felt like they did.
No.
So,
But they gotta know something.
exactly, like, which direction did they go? Exactly. So it's not like one person slips out. Like, wow, I was so distracted. 80 people. They get word that Park was found hiding in an attic of one of her more obscure factories near the mountain. The police rushed there, and outside they spot a van that also is belonging to Odeon. So maybe, just maybe she is in there. She went. But she and 31 others were found dead. And this is when all chaos sets in.
That setting spray smells like coconut water. It smells so
So I
good.
think that they,
Guys, double tap my
she
screen.
probably left with a certain number of people. I'm sure a big number of the other 50 were just people.
I thought you and Anti were good. We are good.
I don't know what's going on.
Me and Anti are cool.
So, Park could no longer protect her secrets anymore because she was dead. And slowly, all of her secrets start coming out, and that, one of her biggest secrets, is going to connect to the dead billionaire from 2014. Oh yeah, okay. So, we've touched on the shady business practices.
I'm not childish or immature. Like, I don't care what other people do. Like, if I'm cool with you, I'm cool with you. You know?
That Park's company was just a fake company. It was a front for a religious organization. There were rumors floating around that Park and her employees were not the company. It was a Messiah and her followers. This was a church that was parading around as a corporation. Why do people think that? A lot of victims came forward and said, I applied to work at this company and someone recommended that I work there. I thought it was a factory. I start working here and she's going around telling me. She killed her own cancer back in the day by prayer alone, and that she is the Messiah, the conqueror of the 5 oceans, and if we disobey her, we'll all go to hell. And I was like, whoa. I thought this was a 9 to 5 that I was signing up for. What the hell is going on? All the other employees were deep in it. That's what some of the victims said. These employees
When
were
you,
deep. And they later found
Yeah.
that some of these employees
Look when
weren't
you're
even
here.
paid.
Thank you.
They weren't even paid. They were just free laborers. The victim said, you know, it started to get really weird when she forced us to ask her permission to leave the grounds of the factory. She also had something called sin time, like repentance time, to repent for your sins. It happened randomly, probably like once a month. We'd all be gathered in the gym room, almost like a company meeting, but we would be forced to slap each other in the face. Like, just sit there and, like, slap each other around to repent for our sins. It was a lot. She's also had this apocalyptic streak about her. She just really thought like the world was
I'm getting a little more hungry.
Everyone needed to obey her to be saved. She also was quoted to say,
I'm getting a little more hungry.
yeah, I think
and if you want to go to heaven, you work here for free. Which, so all these little insinuations of her being a part of a religious cult or being a cult leader start coming out. And the investigators are like, okay, we need to
Y'all are
take this
haters.
into account. And this is when we see 2 very popular theories form of what happened in Odeon. Because to this day, I don't think there's anyone like
They're trying to come for me.
certainty that they know what happened.
That's how you know you're pretty, when people hate on you.
So the first route comes from prosecutors and the police and the formal justice department of South Korea. So the investigators have found 100 pieces of cotton and fabric that have been
Still
stuffed
cool with
into
anti? Yeah.
the 32 people's mouths.
I'm
in
still
the attic.
cool with
And
anti.
everyone assumed that the pieces of fabric would be laced with some sort of toxic chemical.
Why wouldn't I
or
be cool with
something that wasn't
anti?
compatible with life, and that is what killed everyone, right? That's what everyone's thinking. Check it out, too. There was no sign of any sort of toxic substance, which is very, very odd. I mean, these pieces of fabric were shoved very deeply, even into the nostrils of these 32 people. The autopsy of all 32 people showed that all
No,
of
I'm
them
not in
had
Miami right now. I'm in
strangulation marks.
Maryland.
They died from manual
I'm in the DMV.
meaning that someone had tied a rope around their neck, tightened it, and started pulling and pulling and pulling until they were no longer alive. It was manual with a lot of labor to do that to someone, and it's a very painful way to go.
It's intense.
Yeah,
Takes forever.
takes forever.
So much struggle and wow.
And
30
there's
people.
Now, the prominent theory that the prosecution ran with is that someone in the group, or a few people of the group, had killed everyone. And these people were not resisting. They were open to it. They were almost waiting in line, waiting for their turn, because they're thinking this is some sort of religious event, right? A ritual, a sacrifice of their own lives, if you will. So these few people went around tying the ropes around the others, killing them, and at the very end, probably, they presume, the factory manager was the last one to die, and that's why he hanged himself in the middle of the attic. Now, the theory is that Park Shin-ja had to die because she was $80 million in debt, and the creditors were knocking on her door. So these followers, they wanted to die with her. But there are reasons that that theory is semi-fact, and this is the theory that's legally accepted today. There's some contradictions. There's some questions that even the detectives that worked on this case that agree with this theory, that agree with the final, decision, are kind of confused about. So first of all, Hopkins was the first one to die when they looked at time of death. This is very unusual. Experts who study religious group killings say, no, absolutely not. Unless the leader dies from an accidental death or natural causes, like they have a terminal illness or old age, they are never the first one to go. Especially on an event like this, they will make sure that everybody else is dead before they themselves die. That doesn't make sense. Another odd detail was that there were 28 women and 4 men. 12 of these women were found with evidence of semen in their bodies. So either they were abused by these 4 men before they passed away, or they voluntarily interacted with men in that attic that has no room, is an open floor plan, and this is August in Korea. There was no AC up in that attic. It's like 90 degrees up there. It just didn't make sense, especially because Park Shin-ja, her 2 sons were in the attic as well as her daughter, and she was found with semen in her body. So it just, would this mother really voluntarily have these activities in front of her own children? Or was this forced upon her?
I don't know if the eyeliner under my eyes is even or not.
Yeah, in addition to all of that, she had hemorrhaging in her skull, indicating that she was either hit on the head with a blunt force object like a hammer, or her head had been smashed into the wall.
No,
which
you
is
just
all
made your
very,
eyes look
very
big.
strange. She also
Yeah,
had,
I want my eyes to look
like,
big.
markings, like defensive wounds.
I don't want them to look like little beetle eyes.
Minute, and if she was the first one to go, her followers are just watching her with this, all of this, with as much energy as they could muster, and they're like, you know what, keep doing it, and we'll go next. Experts that study a lot of religious groups say that just doesn't make sense. But the prosecutors, they're honing in on this. They're like, that's what it was, okay? Religion sometimes doesn't.
It gave my eyes
So I
like a
don't
more
know
cat
how
eye
religion,
effect.
but you get it. These cults don't really make sense, so what can you do? And the reason that the whole scene is so bizarre is because it's probably some sort of ritual, or something that's symbolic to this cult that we, from the outside, cannot understand. Now, about a year later, after this case was eventually closed, there was a special committee that was appointed to this case to...
Your opinion on everything that happened last night?
And the
I
chairman of
think
that committee was
what happened last night was
and he
amazing
does not believe that initial
and
theory.
well
He says,
deserved.
absolutely not. He believes the government just wanted to get this over with as quickly as possible. The government didn't want to overcomplicate things, so they
Gotta do what you gotta do,
the
man.
public could at least wrap their heads around, which is a religious cult. Kim believes that all 32 people were murdered, and they were all murdered in a separate location and not in the attic. He thinks the attic was a dumping ground for 32 bodies. He thinks all 32 people were killed. So the main reason that he brings up is the factory manager, Lee, the one that was found hanging, the one that had allegedly killed everybody else before he killed himself. Kim doesn't believe that this factory worker could have strangled and killed everyone before ending his own life. First of all, Kim argues that for a man to end 30 people's lives,
This highlighter is so cute.
taken at least 5-6 people, and he thinks that's being conservative. The prosecutor, the government, they also say that
I just breathed that
the
in.
one tightening the ropes around everyone. And Kim is saying, even if he's wearing gloves, do you know how much that's going to take a toll on his hands? And there was nothing on his hands. No evidence of swelling that wasn't consistent with decomposition. There was no evidence of abrasions, markings, rope burns, nothing. That's very strange. Another part that really, really brings a lot of people to a theory is that there are different markings around everyone. Technically, you could say that all 32 people died of strangulation. Now, the marks should be different. Everyone else should have different neck marks on the factory.
There's never too much highlighter.
So that means it would be a full circular ring around their neck.
Can you pass me my flat iron ball? Yeah.
Because you're using the gravity of your body and the weight of your corpse.
Let's look for the big one.
This one. Thank you.
So the wig is naturally going to go up into that soft spot, and it's going to lead.
I didn't bring my blush. I forgot it.
In the back. So your ligature mark is not going to go all the way around your neck. There's going to be a little bit of gap between your neck and the rope at the top. Because gravity is pulling your body down.
Yeah, it shouldn't touch in the back, yeah.
Yes. Good full ligature mark.
A full circle.
A full circle.
Okay, then somebody else did it.
Yeah. Now you could argue that maybe someone was choking him, or he tried to choke himself in that manner. And then
I already put on setting spray, guys.
Hanged himself, but it's just very, very strange. There's too many what ifs, or like, oh, here's a weird thing that could have happened. So Kim, the chairman, theorizes that people killed all 32 people, wanted all 32 of them dead for whatever reason, and then brought them up to this attic to stage this in sort of mass religious tragedy. He also claims that's why their wrists and their ankles were down the way that they
You
were
can
down.
use lipstick as blush. I didn't bring the lipstick though. That's the thing.
Okay, let's say you're trying to end someone's life. You're gonna cut them off. And when you do, you're gonna
How do you feel about last night? I told y'all. I feel like last night was well deserved. Someone talks about people's kids, they deserve to get whooped. And how do you expect having beef with so many people that you're not gonna get touched? Like you jinxed yourself when you posted, I'm still untouched, and then you get whooped. Like, that's embarrassing. They got to her before I could, bro. That is so embarrassing. I feel like now she learned her lesson to just shut the fuck up and to stay in her lane, you know? That's why you don't mess with people, bro. Because you mess with the wrong person, you know? And then you're crying. Oh my god, I got jumped. No, you didn't. Jazzy didn't jump you and she still whooped your ass. Like, technically that wasn't jumping. And even if it was, as they should, she deserved it.
Another thing that the prosecutors argue is that it took about 6 to 7 hours.
Don't talk about people's babies then. Like,
it's not stairs that you can take into the attic. It's a ladder. So to get these bodies down, and they're saying it must be harder to get them back up.
Right, that's good.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't think that there is one right or wrong answer. That's why I think
yeah, and then macing Cart is crazy. Like, that's how you know Cart won if she got maced.
Right now, I will say the government is on the theory that it was a religious incident, but it's just very strange. Now, the biggest question that everyone had though was before Park Hyun-jae died, $18 million of corporate funds vanished. So where did it go? First of all, if corporate funds vanish like that, it doesn't seem like someone who's trying to die anytime soon, right? It sounds like someone who's trying to
None of them can fight.
But where did it
Okay, my honest opinion, from what I saw, Kayla can't fight. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Fighting just isn't her thing. like
So this is where a massive conspiracy
she was losing, and then Toxic came and saved her. Like Kayla was like this, but Toxic like throws real punches. Like she had to save Kayla, or else Kayla would have gotten her ass beat. But yeah, the only people out of all of them that can actually fight is Jazzy and Toxic. Kayla did not, like, that was cringy to watch it. Like, all I see is, like, no. And then when she threw Lisa to go fight her for her, like, I don't know. Like, why throw another girl to fight for you? Why can't you just do it yourself? Ow. This flat iron is so... Where can we watch it? I don't know. All I know is that I was on the phone with McCartney yesterday, and she told me everything.
Exactly, and why would she spend all that money?
Jazzy can definitely fight.
Well, a lot of people
100%, like...
church that he started. So we're gonna get into the billionaire story now. Yu Jong-un is the leader of, well, he was the leader of the Evangelical Baptist Church in South Korea. And I do need to put a disclaimer that this church is massive. I think there's about 100,000 members in this church globally, and there's different sects.
Today?
Yeah, today, in 2023. Okay. So I feel really good, I feel really safe, I feel really comfortable talking about all this stuff. I'm very sick.
A lot of churches in Korea, huh?
Yeah, there's actually like a whole reason for it. There's actually so many political factors that went into it. Like Korea was in a state of chaos at one point. It's fascinating. But this church in Korea has a lot of subsects and a lot of like they broke up and started their own.
Where's my vape?
We like our church, we're going to start a new church. So not everyone that's in the Evangelical Baptist Church is bad, nor is it really categorized as a cult. I'm just going to call it an organization for now.
I don't know where my vape is.
It's very interesting. He starts this church, and it's speculated...
I feel like my mom took it, because she'd be hitting my vape.
And she started foundations to provide families waiting with money. The leader
Did my mom take it? I don't play with my damn vape, dog. Y'all be talking so much shit about people, like, judging how they fight. I would love to see y'all doing it. Y'all talking about my friend can't fight, this and that. I want to see y'all do it. How about y'all give her a one-on-one then? Let's see if you can fight. Let's see if Toxic, like, line it up. Line it up. Let's see if Toxic will beat your ass, since she can't fight, right? Do a one-on-one with her then. Y'all be hating, but y'all behind the screen. Like, that's what I don't like about some of y'all. Like, the girls who can actually fight, they don't be talking like, I can fight. Like, if you can fight, you don't talk. You just do it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be, like, trying to prove yourself.
But how could he do that when he was born into this poor village family? He was a rather sickly child. The
more you see someone trying to prove themselves that they can fight, those be the main ones that can't.
He went through school hoping,
y'all out here looking like Shorty who got beat up.
How a lot of poor village kids his age were thinking.
Embarrassing.
He met a group of American Christian missionaries, and he said his entire life changed. Not only did he want to get into religion, not only did he become religious, but he wanted to spread the word, which is arguably the more controversial part of Christianity, but he said that his whole life mission was to help save people.
This flat iron is so good, y'all.
A little bit of an apocalyptic sect, meaning that
Mina, you look pretty. Thank you.
So he needed people to be saved soon, because if the world ends in 5 years and you're not saved, you're just out of luck, you're going to be in hell. Now, he did have a lot of charisma ever since he was a kid. So he meets a young woman, they get married, and with his father-in-law, he starts a church.
Yeah, me and Anti are still friends.
The whole Yu family is super broke, okay? They've got no money, they're in debt when they start this church, but they're so passionate about their religious teachings. They call the church the Evangelical Baptist Church, aka EBC, or the Salvation Sect. The church, again, like I said, later splits up, so not everyone in EBC is bad or associated with Cohen. The church is interesting. The salvation sect, his sect, is very
I thought
interesting.
Anti was your
Their
friend.
teachings are-
Yeah, bro, he is my
So
friend.
Cohen, the billionaire, told his followers that you earn the right to heaven no matter how bad your sins are. You could kill someone, you could rip a whole village, and you will get to heaven as long as you follow me.
I'm cool with him. There's no reason for me not to be. What the fuck?
It's like a get out of jail free card. So most Christians do not believe that. They feel like you have to live your
Honestly,
life trying
other
to
than, like, when people talk shit saying, like, oh, this girl can't fight, this and that. At the end of the day, if someone stood their ground and stood on business, you guys should respect them for that. Like, it's better to, like, get your ass whooped than to, like, not defend yourself or run. You know what I'm saying? Because there's been times where I've gotten into fights and I whooped people's asses and then sometimes they won. But at the end of the day, like, if you stood your ground, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? But that girl was running. When Toxic was trying to get her, she was running. She's like, I don't want to be touched. Like, that's embarrassing. No, like, defend yourself. If you're really on that, like, I don't want to be touched. But she got all this shit to talk on social media.
Because we don't practice the same way that you practice. That's the reason you hate us. One very fascinating thing about this group is how reclusive they are. I mean, the whole church is shrouded in secrecy.
Like, at the end of the day, yeah, Kayla can't fight, but she's, like, she at least she tried, and y'all should respect that, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least she tried. And Toxic was real as fuck for helping her, because she was getting her ass beat, and then Toxic came and whooped that ass. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least I respect that Kayla tried, but obviously it wasn't going well for her, but at least she tried, man, and y'all gotta respect that. So,
But remember how Yugen the billionaire was very sick as a child? Apparently he taught his followers that germs were really bad. So he stated he hates how other Christians pray before meals and let their little white sticks of spit fall into their food. Yeah, they're saying about not praying before meals.
girl, why weren't you there? Because I'm in Maryland.
But Yugen was not fazed by all these other Christians.
Trust me, if I was in Florida, I would have pulled up with mace. Since they want to mace McCartney, I would have maced them right back. I would have brought 10 bottles of mace.
You have collected billions of dollars?
Let me tell you, okay? You're thinking billions of dollars in church donations? That's crazy. Not exactly. Kellen was a businessman before he was a religious leader. The Evangelical Baptist Church ran
Like, to mace somebody that beat your ass is so lame. Like, just take your L.
Let me explain.
Like, you don't gotta mace someone because they whooped you. Like,
man who went to his mom's house and saw another box of these supplements that she had just
and not even just regular mace. It was bear mace. Like, you're that scary that you're gonna mace someone with bear mace?
was like made from shark livers. But maybe that's what happens when you get older. You start looking for ways to stay healthy. He didn't realize it was too late that she was being scammed. Not just scammed, but meticulously targeted, manipulated, and defrauded. Mrs. Lim, his mother, was known in the area as being rich, alone, and very sweet. You know, her kids would check up on her, but they're all adults, they have families of their own. She would spend most of her days alone. A group of strangers appeared at her door, asking her questions and helping her out in the kitchen, giving her massages, giving her tips on what to eat to feel more energetic. She loved the conversation. I mean, it was just nice to talk to someone. But the visits became more and more frequent, and they started telling her that if you ever plan to be saved, you know, because you don't have much time left, our religion is pretty easy. You know, other religions are complex. You should go through this whole process.
Opinion on your ex. I don't have a problem with my ex. I feel like he's actually growing and maturing more, and I'm proud of him.
And you'll be saved.
And I wish him nothing but the best. You know, I have nothing bad to say about my ex.
It's hard to explain, but
He was crying over you last night. Damn.
You know, when you're listening to the sermons and you feel this enormous wave of emotion come to you, you need to write that time down. So, they were in the practice of writing down the exact time that they got saved. So Mrs. Lynn listens to the tape alone in her condo, and it hit her. She feels these emotions. She wants to cry, and she writes down the time, and she's like, I've been saved. This is what salvation feels like. But you know what else salvation feels like? Squalene shark liver pills. Yeah, the church sold it. They recommended it and sold it for salvation, and they sold it for $1,300 a box. They also sold knickknacks for like $2,000 a jewelry box made out of the shittiest quality material. They sold everything. It's like an MLM inside of a church. This is not a regular organization that we're talking about. This
Of course they had to set her up. She's scary. She's not gonna pull up to fade anybody. She's scary. They had to set her up to get her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she would not have pulled up if they said, oh, we want to fight you. Like, she's scary. So, they had to set her up. Like,
you're squealing at $1,300 and I think I'm squealing for $10? No, because that's not blood. Okay, you need to buy this one. They were cluttering up her home. It's speculated that she...
y'all be saying it's fucked up, but it's really not.
But the real salvation happens when the salvation...
If you tell someone you're gonna shove a 40 down their baby's throat, you deserve everything that happened to you.
Coming up with this top-notch medical facility. So they need funds for it, and you're gonna get returns because once...
Don't talk on kids. You should have known better. Now look at you.
I mean, think of how great that
Embarrassed on the internet, getting your ass whooped. Embarrassed. You look dumb. It's funny because the bitches that be talking the most shit are the ones that can't fight. They're the ones that end up getting their ass beat. And on top of that, you're bald. Like, they took off her extensions and you see the huge bald spot on the back of her head. That was so funny. I saw a bunch of people posting that. It was hilarious, bro.
They would have $225 million in...
Like, all you see is, like, a piece of scalp in the back. Like, that was the biggest bald spot I've ever seen in my life. It was a huge bald spot, bro. That shit was big. Like, damn, I knew you were bald, but I didn't know you were that bald. She has alopecia. That's not funny at all. How you got alopecia and you talk shit about people? Pick a struggle. And I don't care if y'all want to cancel me. Like, bitch, if you know you got alopecia, like, humble yourself. Then don't be talking about other people. Like, pick a struggle.
Most of the employees are church members, allegedly. Oh,
the fuck? Like, okay, like, you thought I was gonna be like, oh, sorry, I feel bad now. No. Not cool, Mina. You know what's also not cool? People talking about kids. That's not cool.
A pastor that made it out of the salvation sect said,
y'all be picking and choosing what's wrong and what's not. Be so for real.
I mean, it's crazy. Imagine if Jeff Bezos started a religion and asked you to donate all your money into his companies because you follow him spiritually. And everything was set up like a pyramid-like structure.
I don't care. Fuck you and your alopecia, bitch. I don't care.
Company after shell company after shell company after shell company. A lot of
what are y'all gonna do?
Young's name wasn't even listed as a major shareholder.
Can't cancel someone who doesn't care if they get canceled.
Success of these businesses. Most of the time, they
oh,
would be listed
well.
under followers' names that he indirectly controlled allegedly, or his own children's names, or other family members. But it's alleged that Yu Young-un was the mastermind behind
it's the
every
truth,
single
lol.
company
Facts.
in
It's the
this
truth.
company.
Y'all can't get mad at the truth.
So the way that it would work is that a new company would come up, Company A, and church believers are now investing in Company A and being promised big fat returns.
Truth hurts.
Mr.
Facts.
Yu Young-un might not have any direct shares in Company A. He's not a shareholder of Company A. But the largest shareholder of Company A is Company B. And Company B is a subsidiary of holding Company C, which Yu Young-un's two sons were controlling shareholders
I have so
of.
much freaking
So
hair,
that's why a
dude.
lot of
It's
people say he's
stressful.
not the de facto
Actually, I take that
owner
back. I'm
of all
grateful
these
to have a
businesses,
bunch of
but
hair.
there is a connection.
Ah, some people
So
can't
yeah,
relate.
On paper, he might not even own Company A or have shares or be the CEO of Company A, but let's
I don't care. I'm out of
talk
pocket.
about Company
It's
A.
called dark humor.
Now,
Get a
one of these
grip.
companies that started very, very early on, before even I believe
Don't be so
the
sensitive,
internet,
y'all.
was
It's okay.
Ferry Company. They made boats, and they originally started as just
Hell is
an
hot, but I'm
entertainment
hotter,
boats
so I'll be
on
fine.
rivers. So during the Olympics in Seoul, they were just taking people around on these cute little ferry rides. And because Yu Byung-hun, the billionaire, had so many connections in government, he was able to get all these permits and all these licenses, and so they
Anti's not an
created
op,
an
guys.
American community, a company
I'm out here in
where they
Miami,
had cargo ships, like
looking
all
for the
of that.
hoochie daddies.
All of that. Some former members of the church have come out to say that Yu Byung-hun, maybe not directly, but a lot of them were asked to volunteer to help build these ferries with no knowledge of how to build ferries. It's alleged that in the beginning, this ferry company would use free labor from church members who had no idea how to build ferries just so they could cut down on costs. It's also speculated that most
What do you use to grow your hair? I use castor oil and rice water.
at the church, so if anyone had any safety concerns, they would just get fired. And if you were part of the church, you probably wouldn't have any safety concerns. It's speculated because 3 of their ferries would end up colliding with the Mapo Bridge during a flood, killing 13 passengers and losing 1 passenger who is still considered missing. And this is
Ow, just burned my knee.
So Tamil trading was investigated.
This flat iron be getting hot as hell.
Liability, but it's just fascinating to think about considering what we're going to talk about in Wednesday's episode. Now, a former follower of this church said, working
But this
hard
flat
for
iron is
companies
so
that were
good,
run by
y'all.
the church was
Like just one
equivalent
pass and
to
it
salvation.
flattens my
They
hair
considered that
completely.
Bible study. They considered that singing the gospel. That was considered an act of worship. We didn't have to pray anymore. We just had to do 3 hours at the factory. And these are not small, cute little businesses. These are massive ones, like Toneju Marine, the ones that own Toa Ferry. Pretty sizable company, okay? They had companies that sold toys to the general public. Like, you would never even know that this company is run by a church. You're just like, that's a cute toy, let me buy it. They were the sole distributors of a very fancy chocolate brand called Dugave and Gala. It's like a French chocolate brand. It's super old. It's said to have been a favorite of Marie Antoinette. But they are the sole distributor in America for that chocolate brand. Yeah. The family owned an entire village in France. They had a company that sold green tea, a company that sold enema kits to cleanse people's bodies via the butt, companies that sold organic milk, makeup, auto parts, special paint for nuclear plants that have to endure radiation. They had a real estate company, the maritime boat companies. I mean, they had these things dipped in everything. Craft companies, tourist place companies. It was like a spider web of shell companies and subsidiaries. What they would do is they would just buy companies that were about to be bankrupt, put in a bunch of church members, allegedly, and ask people to invest in it. It said that they were involved with at least 70 companies on 3 different continents. Some in their own names, others through other people's names. It was so complicated, so complicated. They even own one of the biggest organic lavender farms in Southern California. So this is not like a cute little business idea that a church made. It made the Yu family one of the richest families in South Korea, but hardly anyone knew about them. They were not always in the papers like the Samsung Chaebol, the Korean Air Chaebol. They were the billionaires with no face. They flew under their radar, but their power, influence, and money is so terrifying to think about. So the families would get
Guys, I'm
millions
almost
of
done
dollars
with my
through this
hair.
company, even if it wasn't just through the shares. And how do you do that, you ask? The companies would make up random, okay, I don't want to speak as legally speaking, but in my opinion, they would make up random reasons that they had to pay the Yu billionaire family millions of dollars. So the ferry company, for example, allegedly paid Yu's eldest son $1.4 million for the right to use the name to one of the ferries.
No, I don't have extensions on. This is my natural hair.
Apparently was paid for the rights to the name
I don't wear
Toa,
extensions
the
anymore
name
because
of
my
the
hair is
ferry
really
that
long now.
the people that we're talking about on Wednesday.
So I just wear it
I
natural.
don't know for sure if the company paid to use that name, but apparently he owned the trademark for it. So they would make up these, I don't want to say false because I guess they're accurate, but these almost unbelievable from an ethical sense reasons why they had to pay the Yu family millions of dollars.
Yeah, my hair grows really fast, you guys. I don't know how, but it grows really fast.
And that would be considered
Especially with the stuff I've been using.
final papers.
makes my hair grow so fast and so long. Genetics. Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's definitely genetics because I'm Moroccan. So us Moroccans, we have really thick, long, beautiful hair. That was something my ex always used to say. He would always be like, you have a lot of hair. Everyone says that.
So once that connection was made,
and I didn't realize how much of a flex it was until I realized the bitches that hate me are bald. So it's definitely a flex now.
it came out that when Park was in debt, she was being investigated, she was on the run, and she asked Yu Byung-hun, the billionaire that she's connected to, for help, and allegedly, he refused. There was another note.
She's bald. She's torturing the girls that have hair.
Also suffered, indicating someone gave her the news.
Y'all know that sound?
Trading could not give her money because they too were suffering. Now this is where it gets very tricky. You would think, okay, that's one and done. They're connected. He must be involved in something illegal, right? Yu Byung-hun was arrested in 1991
You're so funny,
for the
bro.
incident.
I love making jokes.
Deaths of these 32 people were ruled a mass suicide. Helen
Okay.
cannot be connected to it. And the prosecutors alleged that they couldn't find any legal
I used to live in
clues
Maryland.
to the death.
Me too. I used to
Not
live
saying
here.
the company or the scams, just the death.
I kind of want to do a side part. Not gonna lie.
32 people died. Yu Byung-hun was, this is a rare occasion.
This this iron literally like flattens all of my hair. Like I'm not even lying to
You know
y'all.
how I feel like I'm a woman living in a small village, and one day I suddenly got sexually assaulted. And it's really unfair, you know? But I can't talk about it because, you know, Korean culture, they'll just have more rumors and it gets out of control and then I'll be the one at fault. That's how I feel.
Oh, what is that analogy?
I don't know, it's like, first of all,
What?
32 people died. Okay, second of all, but you're not a woman that's been sexually assaulted, you're a rich man in a deeply patriarchal society. So, shut up. Like, what a bizarre thing to say. But Yu Byung-hun is not connected to the Five Oceans incident legally. Even though he's not, there are a lot of open questions, though. Technically, the police have decided what they think happened, and they think that it was mass suicide. But I don't know, just these loose ends, I don't think anyone will really know what happened in that attic. Yu Byung-hun was convicted on charges of defrauding his church. Prosecutors stated that
Okay, it's so hot in here. I need to get out. It's because I'm in here. I'm kidding. Okay, my makeup looks so good. Ales after ales, bitch. I ordered green contacts. And they're so cute. I'm actually gonna make some TikToks real quick. So tune back in. I'll be right back, guys.